Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I do this look here and it's kind of my take on a festive holiday makeup. So it has the typical gold eye with a red lip, and I also do give you guys a nude lip option. I use the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I just use the gold shades and the brown shades in this palette. So it's super easy to create, and I'm sure if you have this palette or if you don't, you can recreate it, and let's get right on into it. So let's just get started. Shall we? I'm going to prime my face and I'm going to use this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer in Radiance. I have a little sample here. And I think I've used this maybe once. So let's see how it is. So next I'm going to go into foundation and I'm going to use this YSL Touche Éclat. And I have it in the shade BD40. I'm just going in with it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and just start to dab this on my face. And I like to really spend a lot of time blending in my foundation because I think it's really important, because you want it to look like skin and you don't want to have that line on your chin where it shows where your foundation is. So you want to always make sure you drag it down your neck and jawline just a little bit. I don't think you need to bring it like all the way down here. So now I'm going to take concealer and I'm just going to use the Maybelline Fit Me, which I'm almost out of, and I have it in the shade Light. I'm going to put that under my eye. And on any other scarring or blemishes, taking my beauty blender again. So before I set my face, I usually like to do my brows first, just because I don't want to put the powder on top of my wet foundation and concealer, because that can cause a cakey look and a cakey appearance on your face, and we want to avoid that. So I'm going in with the Sephora Brow Kit in Midnight Browns. So I'm just going to brush them up. I am using an Anastasia brush. So now I'm going to go in with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, which I'm sure you know what this is by now, because everybody under the sun has this. And it's just basically an eye primer. So now I'm going to go in with my powder, and I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. And I have it in the shade 10 Fair Light. I'm going to take my e.l.f. small stipple brush, and I just do this, tap it off. You don't want too much. And I just lightly pat that. Okay, so my face is set, so now I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. And I'm going to take my BMX 130 pointed brush from Moda Pro. I'm going to take the two lightest shades. And I'm just going to bronze up and do a slight contour. And I'm going to take those underneath my jaw and chin because someone's been eating too many Christmas candies. And then I'm going to take a more contour shaped brush, and this is from AOA Studio. It's an F14, the more ashy shade, and I'm going to pop that in my contour area. I'm also going to take a little bit of that under the lip and just on the tip of my nose, because I want my tip of my nose to look a little bit smaller and even with the rest of my nose, because my nose is weird. Just like that. So now I'm going to go in with my blush, and I'm going to take the Joe Fresh blush in the shade Hydrangea on my Real Techniques blush brush. And I do actually like this brush for blush quite a bit because it kind of just hugs right around my cheek, and I have quite like a long full face, and I find that it really just grabs onto it and disperses it where it should go. So if you have a similar face shape to me, I would highly suggest checking out this brush for blush. And since my face does have that kind of long shape, I like to keep my blush more on the backs of my cheeks. Okay, so now that my blush is done, I'm going to go in with highlight, and I'm going to use more of a blingy highlight today since this is more of a holiday makeup look. So I went a little bit heavier on all of my face makeup, and I'm going to take my Becca highlight, and this is in Prosecco Pop, I believe. So I usually keep my highlighter just on my cheekbones, and I do that because I don't want to look greasy everywhere else, and I find that if I put it anywhere else I do. And I don't put it on the tip of my nose because my nose is already pretty out there, and highlight brings things out. So if anything, I would contour my nose to make it look a little bit smaller because it's quite large in the first place, but I'm just going to leave the highlight like that. So getting into the eyeshadow, the palette I'm going to use today is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Looks like that. I'm sure you've all seen this, and I'm sure many of you guys have this palette, so it's going to be perfect for this tutorial. It's perfect because it has some of these Christmassy shades that I want to use to create my holiday look. So I'm going to take the matte shade in the palette right up here on kind of a big fluffy shader, and I'm just going to set my entire eye area. And this is basically just going to make it easier for all of the other eyeshadows to blend on top of. So now I am going to go in with this shade right here. And my palette's older, so it doesn't have the names of the shadows actually written on the palette. If I just show you the shade, you should know what shade on your palette to use. And I'm going to take that just on a big fluffy brush. This is from Wet n Wild, and I'm going to pop that into my crease. This is going to be my transition. Okay, so it should look something like that. And now I'm going to take a more tapered brush. This is from Moda Pro as well, and it is the BMX 430 crease brush. And I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to put this directly into my crease. And I like to take my eyeshadow all the way in. It just gives me more of a doll eye effect because my eyes are quite round, so I like that. If you want to, you can just put it right into the center of your lid, and it'll make your eyes more elongated. And I'm going to take a little bit of this and run it underneath my lower lash line as well. Just the excess that's left on the brush. I'm going to take just a clean, big, fluffy brush. This is from AOA Studios as well, and it is the E104. And I'm just going to buff over my edges. So you just want it to be blended. You don't want to blend the color away. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gold in the palette right here, and I'm just going to slap that all over my lid. And I'm using this brush from AOA Studios. It is the E113, and it's just a big shader brush. I think that gold is the perfect eyeshadow color for the holidays because, I don't know, it's just festive, and it always means that there's something special, and silver and gold are definitely my favorite Christmas colors. Just put on about 3 layers of that with the brush, and now I'm going to move on to the other eye. And I take that right up into the crease. So we're going to go over and blend that afterwards. And just go into a little bit of that on my pinky and pat that right into the center. I am a firm believer in using my fingers when it comes to eyeshadow. I'm just going to take that first brush, this Wet n Wild brush, and I'm just going to go over my edges a little bit more just to blend out that gold, make sure it's not harsh. I'm going to take this Luxie brush. It's a really, really small blending brush, and it is the 237. And I'm going to go into that dark brown shade again, and I'm going to blend that on my lower lash line. I'm not going to put any eyeliner on because I want my lashes to look as big as possible, and I find if I put eyeliner on, it makes my lashes look smaller since I'm not going to be using false lashes. So I'm just going to put on a highlight now underneath my brow and in my inner corner, and I'm going to use a highlight shade in the palette, so this one right here. And I'm using a little AOA Studios F16 brush, looks like this. So I want to darken it up a little bit, so I'm actually going to take the very dark brown in this palette right here, a So Susan brush. It doesn't have a number, but it's just like a flat brush, but it's still quite wide. I'm going to pat that just on the outer corners. Not too much. I just want a soft, settled definition. So I'm just going to go in and curl my lashes, and I'm going to put on a couple coats of the Essence Lash Princess mascara. And I'm going to use the same mascara on my lower lashes. I'm going to take the Essence Make Me Brow in Brownie Brows. I'm going to use the ColourPop eyeliner and Get Paid in my waterline because it's a nice bronzy color and it'll look really nice with the gold. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of lip options. So I'm going to give you a nude lip option and then a red lip option depending on how festive you want to be or, you know, where you're going. So for the lip option number 1, which is the nude, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline matte lipstick in Almond Rose 565. There is the look with the nude lip option. So for the red lip option, I'm giving something that I do believe is only available to Canadians, and because it's by Quo, which is a brand that's sold in Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada. But if you don't have Quo, then you can just use any red shade that's similar to this one. So it's basically just a little bit of a brighter red. So this one is in a crayon form, and it is the Quo Matte Lip Crayon. So I'm going to just draw my lips in with this, and it's called Simply Red. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really enjoyed this makeup look. I think it's super pretty and it's super festive and it's really not hard to create, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. If you did like today's video, please give it a like and thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel so I know to make more videos, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Thank you for watching.